So this is crazy to me, okay? Out of nowhere, maybe subliminally, I saw some things about Eve Frontier, but recently wanted to get into Eve Online again after, I don't know, 8 years of not playing. I reactivated my Eve accounts, all except for my main for some reason. Having trouble giving me my main back, but my other accounts are live, and I started playing Eve Online with some friends again. For those who've never seen Eve, this will kind of help start fresh on this game, but also for those who've played Eve Online, Eve Frontier is not the same game. I mean, well, it kind of is the same game. It's not. It's very confusing. Let's kind of break that down here real quick. Eve Online is Eve Online. It's going to continue to be Eve Online the way it is. All the comments I'm seeing about Eve Frontier, people are like, please don't change it. It's not changing. Eve Online is still the same 20-year-old game it's been and going to be. Eve Frontier is a new game that is very, very, very similar to Eve Online. It's like almost pressing the reset button and relaunching Eve Online all over again with a few different tweaks that I want to go over here with you guys. So I'm super excited for this because I had that Eve itch recently, and now a new game is coming out. And I have played Eve Frontiers Alpha. It's hard NDA, so I can't really talk about the gameplay or anything in Eve Frontier that hasn't been announced in the first look or on their website. But it is like starting Eve Online fresh, and you're not 20 years behind. I know that's not how Eve works. You could still play Eve Online today and get started with a new account and still do a lot of the game and not be behind, but this is a fresh restart for everyone on an even playing field. It's a mix between Eve Online and what I would say is Entropia Online. I don't know if you've ever heard of that even, but Entropia Online is a real money game where it costs real money to play, but the rewards are also real money back. This has a touch in an aspect of that too, so we'll get into that in a second. But the biggest thing I love about Eve Frontier is the open world, full PvP combat that you see of the regular Eve Online is brought here, but this time we're able to build structures as a player and defend bases, and literally could just park your ship in the middle of space and drop down some turrets and drop down a base, and this is now your home. That is freaking sweet. I wish the original game had something like that anyways. I mean, they kind of do with big space stations and things like that, but not something that just literally every player on day one can pretty much start defending themselves at a home. The player buildings, that's pretty sweet to me, and probably my number one draw to this new version of Eve. It does have a dab of crypto. We'll get into that in a minute, which is the big controversy over this game. A lot of people just hear that word and get scared, and it's game over. I've seen nothing but negativity about that. We'll go over that in a little bit more in detail, but again, I can't talk too much about the specific of the game because of the NDA. So I'm just going to roll this in the background as I'm talking, so you're not just staring at a blank screen there. But some of the differences that I've seen through this video and all the non-NDA stuff that I can talk about is that manually flying is actually going to matter. So the old Eve Online, if you played that game and want to compare, very Excel spreadsheet, rotate around a person and set your orbital distance, and that's kind of it, right? This manually flying is going to matter a little bit. You're still going to orbit, you're still going to kind of play the same way, but if you're behind an asteroid, for example, or a space station, that is going to block the bullets. You do have a line of sight now where it's actually going to matter, and they're going to have different zones and areas that are a little more built up rather than just open air space where you're fighting all the time. You're actually going to have an element of structure being a line of sight issue and things like that. So I assume in the game, as you're doing different missions or fighting real players or things, hiding around structures or hiding in asteroid fields could actually play a big part. of maybe keeping someone close distance or hiding from range, things like that. It does add another aspect to the battling. So yeah, your asteroid fields and such will be basically shields for you. Again, the player built bases, defense turrets, sweet, love that already. Where I'm now able to just park a station, put up some turrets. You come near me, you're gonna get shot. The null sec version of Eve now, it's very much, you're just kind of chaos and you have no way of protecting yourself. It's ship on ship and that's it. Player made jump gates. So it sounds like you're going to be able to, like, literally from your house create your own jump gate, and make different jump gates from place to place, or just creating jump gates in a system itself. There's going to be over 100,000 systems, I believe they said. And again, a lot of this is going to be player economy, player built type systems. So I really feel like that whole sense of jitta and what happened in the first original game, that's going to start all over with where players are going to form and shape this economy inside of this game, where even the developers can't predict where main headquarters and where people and players are going to focus their resources and where they're going to go. So that's pretty sweet. Smart assemblies. So this is getting into the crypto stuff a little bit. Smart assemblies are basically where you're going to be able to construct, configure, and deploy different infrastructure with code. So you can actually automate your systems, create processes, build your structures, build your defenses, and really actually use code to develop this game. Now, they do state that they have like an overlay code, which they have to kind of protect from things getting crazy, where someone just develops a code and they kind of can just, have an edge over everyone else. This overrule code will kind of prevent game breaking issues, they state. I'm intrigued to learn more about this because I don't really know how exactly that's going to work, but these overlay rules are going to keep everybody at bay on an even playing field. But yet, I can develop my own source code for my structures and my processes and the things around me. I can literally code my base and what I'm doing. That is pretty badass in my opinion, and very intrigued to see how that works, and very intrigued to see how these umbrella rules really help prevent hackers or issues or different metas or things that could really break the economy and break the game. So I'm very intrigued. Here's the code, for example. Very intrigued to learn more about how this scripting and stuff is going to work, without it being able to be in, because that's every coder's goal is going to be in here. How do I make the best to sell ore? So he's creating a script to sell ore, I believe, automatically. So that's just badass in my opinion, but very scary at the same time. So the stuff that you do in this game is actually going to be crypto based. So let's go ahead and put that scary word out there. So they're showing all the different ways that this ship can be coded and changed. People are designing different stuff on the ship in the background. But going back to the crypto here that everyone is kind of scared with, there is crypto involved in the game. That's how these NFTs and these open source stations can be developed, but they are also yours. One of the things that I've seen in a lot of forums and places, and I'm sorry, IGN, I'm calling you out. I'm really getting sick of your news lately. Everything is just so negative and whiny, and all of your posts lately done with IGN. But anyways, everyone's complaining about that word crypto and NFT. In my opinion, I'm not as scared with it. It seems intriguing that a real world economy and a real world game like this, where players in the previous EVE Online have really developed over the last 20 years to build EVE what it is. Now you have a chance to do that, but actually get a reward from it, because you have a stake in it, but you can actually get rewarded from that stake. Current EVE Online, people pay with Plex to buy ships, They have subscription. You're paying money to get the in-game items, but then it's only good in game. I mean, you could sit there and be the best guy on the market and buy, sell, trade, and make millions and millions of ISK on the market, and what you're doing, and it's amazing. But at the end of the day, it all stays in the game, and whatever money you invested into it, it's CCP's theirs. It's in the game. They own it. You could have billions and billions and billions of ISK. It's legally theirs. If you try to take it out, you actually break the rules and can be banned and is against the game's legality. So people are complaining about this crypto because you have to pay money to do things in the game. Well, the current EVE, you already do that. You just don't ever get any of it back. The difference now is you're paying money for Plex or a subscription, whatever you choose to do in the game, and then you can buy ships and resources and things like that. But you own that NFT. You own that structure. You own what you're doing as crypto. I believe it's Ethereum based, is what they were saying. So it's yours. It's a two-way street instead of a one-way street. Now I'm able to actually get those rewards outside of the game from what I'm doing in the game. It's the same thing you have now, just with an added benefit. Now, a lot of people are complaining because they added fuel to the game, and the fuel costs crypto, so this is their way of earning money. There's going to be, I'm sure, transaction fees, and now you have a fuel associated with your ship. It costs more fuel on bigger ships to fly. There's a cost that goes into the game that doesn't ever come back. Well, guess what? The devs have to make their money somehow, or they can't continue to run a game. So I'm not totally against that. I understand why people are complaining, because you have to pay for fuel. Fuel goes into the game. It never comes out. Well, guess what? That's most games that you play. You pay money, it goes in the game, and you never get anything back. Welcome to most games in the world. Sometimes you get a skin or something, but it stays in the game, This is actually giving you an opportunity to own your resources. It's going to have a little bit more of a feeling when your stuff gets destroyed. Sure, I could understand that. EVE is already an intense PvP game, an intense game where you could work your butt off and build a lot of stuff and get a lot of ships and fly the most expensive thing around, and then someone can come in and boom, it's gone, right? That's going to have a little bit more of a intense feeling, knowing that you could have taken some of those resources out of the game, but instead it blew up. Versus, the current EVE where, hey, once you put the money in, you might as well get it blown up, right? You got nothing else to do. So it's very intriguing. I'm very excited. I'm just really intrigued about the source code and being able to code your own stations and systems and processes, because real money is involved. This seems to open up a lot of areas of question there. So either way, I'm playing. Yeah, I already got the highest package. I'm in. Let's go, right? I got the Founders Access. You can actually get Founders Access and start playing the alpha now. It is NDA, so you can't really talk about it or screenshot or anything like that. If you do decide to get the Founders Access, this is my referral. I'll have the information in the description below. But this is my referral code. If you put this referral code in, not only do I appreciate you doing that, but you're also going to be rewarded with influence points and credits. These are the things used for gas and the game as well too. Fuel, sorry, gas fuel, kind of crypto, but these credits will matter, and you will get this in the game. Everything you do in Founders Access right now is alpha, so it is all going to get reset before the actual launch of the game, so you can just mess around and have a good time, because it will all be reset before the actual game starts. So there are other packs here. So if you want to take a look at the Founders packs here, you have Awakened, Initiated, Ascended. These do come with post-launch subscription time included. So that's going back to that subscription-based play. This game is going to be subscription-based. I don't know if it's going to be like the current EVE where they've added free-to-play to a certain point, and then you can choose to have a subscription or pay with in-game money like Plex to actually continue progressing further and faster than if you were a free-to-play player. that is not how EVE Online originally launched. That was added in the most recent years. Most of EVE Online has always been a month subscription required, that you could pay with in-game money if you earned enough of it. So this, I'm not sure exactly if it's going to continue how it originally started, or if they are going to have some free-to-play aspect to some point, where you earn things a little slower, but can still do it at no cost and no need to upgrade. But if you do one of these packs, the Awaken pack gets you the exclusive skin and 1 month of game time, as well as being able to play access now, I believe. Initiated, same thing, except you're going to get 2 skins, 2 months. You get to reserve your name for the game and get to start the game 24 hours early ahead of launch. Ascended, here we are. So this is going to give you 3 skins, 4 months of subscription time, name reservation, and 72 hours early start at launch. In the grand scheme of things, that first week, this is going to make a difference. It's not going to matter too much later, but this is an open world space game where you can stake your space literally. Get a little bit of a head start, get out there and go where you want to go, and you say, this is my part of space, and start putting up turrets. Well, guess what? That's your part of space till someone can take it down. So this could have a little bit of an effect early on, but probably not too much. Grand scheme. The regular game's been playing 20 years, right? Things that happened the first week, no one ever even knew existed. So these are the different skins, different skins that you get with the different packs here. Kind of going over the details of each thing that we kind of just said there, and it says and more. But you do get trial access, so you can try the Frontier now with the closed alpha. So you could apply for that free with no pack. I didn't put that trial in there. And yeah, I'm excited. Let me know what you think about Frontier. It's intriguing, and a lot of people are hoping it fails. A lot of people are really talking bad about the game. I don't see why. If you don't want to play it, don't. Still have the original EVE Online. You still have everything the way it was. Play it. It's that simple. For everyone else who's looking for an EVE Online experience restarted in this, decade, this is your opportunity to start fresh, build from scratch, and have some updated quality of life features and some new features like, the building experience. This is for me. I'm in. That's why I went with the higher pack, and I'm invested. I'm ready to play this game. So I'll continue to play, and then once the NDA is released, I can talk more about the specifics of the game and everything. But let me know what you think about EVE. Are you EVE Frontier? Are you an original EVE player? What's your opinion on it? Have you never played EVE at all? And are you interested in a game like this? Let me know in the comments section, and let's have some serious discussion about this, because I'm excited for Star Citizen, but we're years away from Star Citizen. And Star Citizen's becoming more and more of a second and a third job, really. The warping that they discussed today is a mini game. The mining is so much to it. It's I miss the days of just mindlessly mining in EVE. This is giving me that in a modern game, and I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm ready. Let's go ahead and play some EVE Frontier, and I'll see you in the next video when I can talk more about this.